And now shifting focus, a power-packed meeting took place between Defence Minister Rajnath Singh and Ruben Brekelmans, the Defence Minister of Netherlands. Both nations are looking to elevate bilateral ties and their mutual defence cooperation. Times Network's Srinjoy Chowdhury spoke exclusively with the Netherlands Defence Minister, where the latter shared his thoughts on maritime cooperation and exchanging information with India. Listen in.
India and Holland have very good ties, mostly at socio-economic levels. Defence relationships are only growing. How can the relationship go further?
I think twofold. One is that our industries can work more closely together. We see that we are both, India and the Netherlands are, for example, strong in the maritime industry, but also when it comes to different types of technologies, for example, drones, semicon, others that can be used for dual use. I think we are also very strong together and we can cooperate further. And second, also our militaries can also work more closely together. We can do exercises together, for example, maritime exercises, sometimes with military equipment, sometimes with our staff involved. And we can also have more people-to-people connections, ranging from students to the highest generals. I think if we share more information, share knowledge, I think we can both benefit from it.
Where can both sides work together, especially, let's say, firms? There are firms, Dutch firms, that can do splendidly in India with Indian firms as well.
I think from a technological perspective, both our countries are very strong. So what we do need to fight within those sectors is to find synergies. India is much bigger than the Netherlands. So we see that much of the military equipment, whether it's in the maritime sector or drones or different types of ammunition, we need to have it at large scale. So what we could also do is see if we can combine the technology and the knowledge of the Netherlands with also the technology and knowledge, but also the scale and the ability of mass production of India together in order to create what we need in the Netherlands and in Europe. We want to strengthen also our Dutch industrial base. We want also to strengthen the European defense industry. But still, we need so much military equipment, so much ammunition, so much missiles, basically everything in the short term that we definitely can leverage also the mass capabilities of India. And I think also, I know the agenda, of course, to produce and to make things in India, but it can be very beneficial for Europe as well. And I think there are opportunities that we can explore.
And as the United States tries to broker a ceasefire between Russia and Ukraine, the Netherlands Defence Minister expressed grave concerns over security issues haunting European countries. He said that the possibility of Russia's aggression and threat will continue in the future, and it's essential to support Ukraine and help them with robust security guarantees. Listen in.
3 years ago, of course, the war in Ukraine began. And now, after the 20th of January, the politics of the transatlantic alliance has changed. How is Europe working together to deal with different situations?
I think the message from the United States and the new Trump administration is very clear, is that they are committed to NATO, they are committed to European security, but European countries should do much more themselves. And that's what we are doing right now. We are increasing our spending, we are increasing our investment, we are increasing our production, and that's what we need to do. We need to take more responsibility for our European security. It's true for Ukraine. We are supporting Ukraine, we are building robust security guarantees for Ukraine. But it's also true for the rest of Europe and for our NATO territory in Europe, that we need to create credible defense, credible deterrence towards Russia, and it's first and foremost a responsibility for European countries themselves, of course always with the support and with the backing and with the help of the United States, because we cannot do without the United States. We will definitely continue with our military support. The Netherlands has been among the top 5 when you look in Europe, and that's because we fully understand that it's not only Ukrainian security and the Ukrainian future is at stake, but it is the security of Europe. It's also the front line of our freedom and our security. That's why we in the Netherlands from the very beginning have been one of the main supporters, and we will continue to do that. Last week we made another 3.5 billion available for next year, which is more than 0.3% of our GDP. That is very substantial. And even if there is a peace agreement and even if there is a ceasefire, then the threat of Russia and the aggression of Russia and the imperialism of Russia is not away. So then we still need to make sure that we further strengthen and build the deterrence capability of Ukraine, because otherwise Russia will repeat the aggression in the future again. So our military support will continue in the short term, but will also continue after a potential ceasefire and a potential peace agreement.